Hi, I'm Jacki Rickert. I'm guessing I should probably go first, so whatever I leave out, Gary can probably get in for me after the stroke. There's some things, I can't remember numbers and stuff real well, but being a patient, I remember very well. From '89 till today, looking around and seeing all the patients that are in this room, it's amazing. It's totally amazing how many people are being helped, how many people are here, how many people brought stories to put into the official log. I mean, this is incredible. We're here for a specific reason, asking just for treatment. We've never asked for anything over and above anything, just to be treated with cannabis therapy. But I have Ehlers-Danlos, it's basically, it's connective tissue disorder, but it affects the bones, the tendons, the ligaments, quite a bit. You have a lot of dislocations, subluxations, partial dislocations. Had to have reconstruction on my thumbs, shoulders, knee, broken hip, joints like that. But when you have muscle loss, it's like, I think if anybody can remember falling on their tailbone as a child. When you don't have the tissue that grows back, you kind of have a tailbone that goes like that, but no muscle around it to protect it any longer. So that's what it's like 24 hours a day. I mean, I sit here and cry about it, but that doesn't really help. So usually about 85% of my day is laying down. But this is important. If I need to stand up, sit up, whatever, this needs to be taken care of. And I'm so hoping everyone will listen. That I know I'm going to still have to take some morphine, but if I'm able to use that in conjunction with cannabis, I can cut it in half. That is something incredible. Muscle relaxants, when you find out that you're sitting at your desk and a mouse goes flying in the air and it takes 30 seconds to realize you've done that with your own body, that's pretty terrifying. Being 68 pounds at one time, that's what really got me to this point now. When your doctor looks at you and says, if we cannot get weight on you, we cannot get nutrition, we cannot get all the elements your body needs to survive, you will die. I mean, that was the bottom line. You will die. You do whatever you have to do without hurting anyone else. We tried to go the legal route. We were accepted into it. My doctor did every single thing to do this legally. We've never wanted to break the law. But sometimes you have to. You don't want to. If there was a simpler way, don't you think it would be much simpler to do it? There was, but there just doesn't seem to be. Cannabis works best, even if in conjunction with. Like I said, for pain, muscles, so many things. A friend of mine, Mary Powers, passed away October 22nd. She was a good friend of, I think, everybody in this room. Both Representative, Senator Urbanbach, Mary. I think Mary touched everyone. She'd be rolling around in here, and you could always find Mary, very determined. But she would be the first one to go to someone's office when they were deployed and say, as one veteran to a next, I salute you and hope you have a safe return. She was that much of an incredible person. She cared about everyone. She worked on this so hard, coming up here 1 day a week for 6 months, just to say how important it is. Even did a thing on YouTube with oxygen thing. You can smell it. There is a change. Like Jacki said, hope. And they call you Mark and John. I feel so close to you, I guess I can't call you by your first names at this moment. Thank you so much for giving all of us hope back. That's something we need so badly. And by looking at all these people, it's pretty obvious it's working. Wow. Go on all day about things that happen when you lose something called fight and flight. I was told that about after the RSD, reflex sympathetic dystrophy, was diagnosed. And I was like, what is loss of fight and flight? And he said, well, imagine someone comes up in back of you with a knife, and your first urge is to run like heck, but you can't. I'm thinking, well, you know, you read all these stories. I mean, when my daughter was tiny, I mean, if something would have happened, I probably could have lifted a car. I could have done something superhuman. I mean, run, save your child, run from something that's horrible. I mean, to just lose that, it can't be. But I found out after a tornado happened to go through Mondovi, and my house really got hit quite a bit. My dog kept pulling at me, and come to find out, sure enough, by the time I found out I couldn't really run. It was kind of shuffle and hope to stay up. And all of a sudden in the back of me, I'm hearing bricks breaking, glass breaking. I didn't have that special something that I could just run. It didn't work. I had lost fight and flight, and I actually really understood what he meant. And it wasn't nice. It was pretty scary. But my weight kept going up and going up. So when I needed to use cannabis, lucky enough there was somebody called Cannabis Angels that would make sure it would somehow get there. If it was like, look under a rock, or between your door, or at a park, something. And there's so many people in here with good hearts that need to be listened to. Gary has talked to so many people. When we hear, what about the children? What about abuses? There can be abuses to just about anything. But please, all I'm asking is don't take the hope away from the people who truly need this, that will go to their doctor, will go to Health and Human Services, and have a card. We want to know that we're getting a substance that has no, that is pure. It has no pesticides or herbicides. We worry about that too. I don't want to ever have to say something to, now it's legal in Michigan, but in '92 it wasn't. And a woman, the friend that I had spoken with a couple of years earlier, we couldn't lie to her and tell her that the cannabis program was still open in '91. She was so afraid of her family going out on the street, afraid of losing her house, their car, everything, that she went to Dr. Kevorkian. Death with dignity is something, but life with dignity is something that's very, very important. And I beg each and every one of you to look into the face of every single person here and all their stories and say, this is not really research. We are research. I think we are ahead of the politics on this one. I really do. Any of us, if you ask, we'll be glad to give any kind of research. We'll be glad to give any of the types of notes because we're the ones that had to do it. But I think that's about all I can say at the moment. If there's any questions or anything afterwards, that would be okay. But there's so many people in here, I don't want to take up all their time. So thank you so much.